SH showcases our alumni. In this episode, we make a lost opportunity right.
Unfortunately, I was robbed of my first place win in the 2016 public speaking competition.
Tag along with the songwriting process.
Ready?
And make the secondary fives create a chain of memories.
But I can say one of the most touching and heartfelt memories I made was the last week, of my last year at Sourp Hagop.
I'm Mulsata Bran, and you're watching SHTV. Welcome to SHTV. I'm your host, Mulsata Bran. This week's episode is dedicated to our alumni, and we thought it would be a fun idea to have one of them host the episode. So, who better than the closest thing to me, my very own sister, Talia Jabran.
Thank you, Melissa. Hi, my name is Talia Jabran, and I'm a member of the 2017 graduating class. I am very honored to be hosting SHTV's alumni episode, as I have a number of very fond memories of my time at Sourp Hagop, ones that I wish I could relive forever. Our first segment on this week's episode is Rewind with Areni Pilibosyan.
Hi, welcome to this edition of Rewind on SHTV. I'm your host, Areni Pilibosyan. In conjunction with this alumni episode, we would like to pay tribute to one of our teachers who is also a Sourp Hagop graduate, Mrs. Alik Bulgarian. Let's take a look at some of her best moments on SHTV.
Hi, my name is Alik Bulgarian. I am a teacher at Sourp Hagop, and I used to attend this school throughout my entire childhood and adolescence. Today, I am reacting to videos that I've shot in the past.
You're a piece of trash!
Yeah, I'm fine. You sure?
Secondary 4! Secondary 4! Excuse me! Secondary 4! Please be seated!
Shut up!
I have a question. Can you help me with something here? Can we say it this way, or do I mark it as wrong?
It's fine.
Event the other day. Am I bothering you or something? Zach, sweetie, are you okay?
Leave me alone.
First of all, the person who edited this video has great skills. It was very well done. However, my acting is a little embarrassing. I can't believe that passed. It's good memories. I feel emotional seeing the students from the past. This was done in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. It was right before the pandemic started, actually. It's fun to see everybody from our past students. it's cute to have these memories on the film. So I'm very appreciative. Although I cringed a bit, I'm very appreciative of the fact that it exists.
I seriously can't take this. Like, I just want to get out.
Guys, I'm so done. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Pia was supposed to become a teacher. But now, because of her ditching school, she didn't get her high school diploma. Unfortunately, these kids have no teacher. In Harut's case, he was supposed to become an accountant. But because of him ditching school, he never got his diploma. Finally, me, Nairi, I always dreamed of becoming a chef. These are only a few examples from hundreds and hundreds of kids who ditch school and don't realize the consequences of their actions.
So I think the drama in the clip is amazing. It gives really the effect of it being important to not skip out on your education. Again, the people who edited and directed this video, mad props to you. I think it's great. My acting was better this time, so I didn't cringe as much, which is also a positive sign. Overall, again, fantastic to see our past students and relive these moments with them. Super appreciative of the opportunity.
Let me formally introduce myself. I'm the principal of the most prestigious school, a school you should all be lining up to attend, in case you're not. Our magical and beautiful school provides 6 periods of different subjects, which means every period will be given 1 hour homework a night, meaning you get 6 hours of homework every single night when you get home at 5 o'clock. You will not have time to do anything for fun or relax, because who needs 8 to 10 hours of sleep when you can get 4 and it's clearly enough? No time for showers, because good hygiene, well, who needs good hygiene if you can find the value of X? No need for sleep in your comfy bed, in your cozy home. We have our state-of-the-art $10,000 bench. All 600 students fit on that one bench. Yeah. Our teacher staff is understanding and kind-hearted. They know that the students have plenty of time to waste. Need no worries. You won't be bored anymore. So they'll give you a bunch of meaningless and useless homework to fill up your time. Who could ask for better staff? No need for privacy when you go to the bathroom. The locks are broken anyways. Besides, you're not allowed to go to the bathroom. I mean, who needs to go to the bathroom? It's not like it's a fundamental right. Gym class? Well, that's a student's favorite. We provide jerseys that are soaked in years of teenager sweat. smell it from here. It's a delightful and distinct smell. The smell of jerseys give the kids the boost they need to play with deflated basketballs. Want to experience the outside world? Well, while you're trapped in a classroom, you're thinking to yourself, how is this possible? Our new windows without screens provide this kind of service. All kinds of insects will enter the classroom. You'll be in a period for English and you'll discover unidentified new insects roaming around on your desk. No need to plan an outing. Our bus gets lost and the kids get a free tour of the city. Two things, kill two birds with one stone. The food, well, it's just scrumptious, divine, delicious. You'll receive immense nutrition from the chicken bones. And to add some surprise to your plate, you'll find some cafeteria women hair protein. Yum! And you'll eat pasta 3 times a week because, you know, carbs give energy. You have so much to waste. We have a modern and state-of-the-art point system that we use to tame students' lives and behaviors. I would explain it to you, but really, we're just winging it. It's not like the students know what we're doing anyway. They don't understand a thing. Hey, look at Finland. They changed their school hours and reduced them in a beneficial way for the child. They have no homework, no standardized testing, tasty food, and the subjects they learn are actually important for the future. I mean, they have the best scores and have the highest success rate. But really, why follow in their footsteps when our system has clearly more stress, more useless courses, and no success rate at all? I mean, it's not like we have proof that their educational system works. No need to look at the millions of documentaries available on YouTube. Just follow your gut. Thank you. And make sure to attend our school. See you next year, kids.
So, I am shook. I can't believe the writing of this video was done by a student at the time. I was laughing not because they were my own jokes, but it was the jokes of the students themselves, and I think they are hilarious. I think they did a really good job. It's funny, it's witty, it's overall fun. It's meant to entertain. So I really appreciated that as well. Kudos to the kids who did that video. Overall, this experience of watching videos from my past, things I've participated in with the students, it really warms the heart because you remember the memories and the relationships you formed with them throughout the time. I think this is great. I think this is a great representation of what the school is about. It's about family, it's about memories, it's about bringing out the best in people. And so it's fantastic. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
We hope you liked our tribute to Mrs. Alik, and thank you for watching this segment of Rewind on SHTV.
Hi, my name is Mia Kavukian Ampofu, and I'm from the graduating class of 2021, which was also the year SHTV started. I was a collaborator and I helped out with different video projects that we had to do throughout the year. As I am watching the third season of SHTV, I notice how much the show has progressed throughout the years. It's amazing to see how this project has been going on for 2 years thanks to Mr. Lu, and that hopefully it will be something that will be continuing throughout the years. At first, when I started CEGEP, it was hard to adjust to a new school, but I am currently in my third semester at CEGEP Saint Laurent in the Architectural Technology program. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed and are still contributing in the making of SHTV, as it is something that we look back on. Thank you.
When I was a student at Sourp Hagop, English was my favorite class, and I was Mr. Lu's favorite student. So when I had the opportunity to present a public speech for the very first time as a Sec 4 student in 2016, I was naturally very excited. And I got to talk about my favorite topic in the world, fairy tales. Unfortunately, I was robbed of my first place win in the 2016 public speaking competition. But I consoled myself by saying that as a Sec 5 student, I would go back, do it all over again, and this time I would win. And become the first, technically in my own head, 2-time winner of the public speaking competition. So when 2017 rolled around and the public speaking competition was tragically canceled, I never had the opportunity to present my public speech in front of everyone and hoist the trophy I so rightfully deserved. Now, 6 years later, Mr. Lu and the team at SHTV invited me back to present that speech to all of you. Let's take a look. Everyone has the right to freedom of speech, expression, thought, belief, of the press, and other forms of media communication. That is Article 2B of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, otherwise known as the bastion of our democracy, otherwise known as the thing that everyone uses to justify their actions because they're doing it in the name of their constitutional rights. I know that was a mouthful, but it needed to be said. The very first thing that they teach you in law school is that freedom of expression is anything but free. One person's ability to express themselves ends when another person's ability to do the exact same thing begins. The problem starts with our collective inability to understand this very concept, to understand that there is absolutely nothing in life that is black or white. Now, I know you may be wondering what gives me the right to stand in front of you today and lecture you all about how our collective understanding, or rather misunderstanding, of the notion of freedom of speech is a challenge facing society today. Why am I complaining when freedom of speech is the very thing that allows me to stand in front of you today and talk and express myself and my opinions? Well, aside from the fact that I very much love to talk and that this problem is, as such, very relevant to my everyday life, I think that it's important for all of us to collectively take a look at what we say and do every day and how we try to shield ourselves from the consequences of our words or actions in the name of democracy, constitutional rights, and freedom of speech. For the next couple of minutes, I'm going to try to convince you all that our misunderstanding of the notion of freedom of speech is what is causing major problems in society today. And if by the time that I'm done, you still are not convinced, I urge you all to open up Twitter or Instagram or Facebook and see all of the stupid, crazy things people are saying in the name of freedom of speech, and I'm sure that you will be convinced. Now, speaking of Twitter, I want to start off with everyone's favorite topic, social media. I'm going to try my very best not to sound like your parents lecturing you about the dangers of phone use and social media and the big bad internet, because I love my phone and my social media accounts just as much, if not more, than the next person. What I want to focus on is how social media and the speed with which we communicate today has given us all a very weird and bizarre relationship with communication, and as such, with freedom of speech. Today, we have more easy access than ever before to other people's thoughts and opinions around the world. We easily forget that people's thoughts and opinions are influenced by their biases, life experiences, and perspectives, And instead, we focus on the things that they are saying and how, regardless of who it impacts, they are allowed to say those things because we have freedom of speech. And if they don't have it in their country, well, that's their problem because their democracy is falling behind. What's even worse is that anonymity, users who don't put their names or pictures to their social media accounts, has given people the courage to spew hateful comments, vitriol, incite violence in the name of their ability to say whatever they want because they have constitutionally protected rights. And if you don't like it, well then too bad. And I know what you may be thinking. Well, a lot of times Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, pick your poison, regulate users' comments or posts or feedback by either deleting tweets or posts or suspending or completely removing the account from the platform. And although this may seem like an adequate solution, it's a twofold consequence to the main problem. First and foremost, on the one hand, we all know that whatever's posted on the internet is there forever. As such, so are its consequences. Even if something that you posted on your social media platforms gets taken down for hate speech or inciting violence or hateful rhetoric, the impact that it has will be there forever. Because if someone didn't see it, someone screenshotted it. If they didn't screenshot it, they know that something's wrong because it says that your tweet has been deleted. It's always going to be a stain that stays there forever. On the other hand, when platforms, social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Instagram, whatever it may be, take down a user's account or tweet, you have hundreds of thousands of millions of people complaining in the name of freedom of speech, saying that the accounts, the corporations, the people that make money off your very active user engagement in their apps are taking advantage and censoring you. So no one's happy at the end of the day, and therein lies another huge problem. Freedom of speech is divisive. It's an issue that has no middle ground. Proponents are either completely for it or completely against it, and no matter what the corporation, the user, or the individual does, it's going to be a problem. Now, I want to also address the fact that social media, whether it be on our own phones or whether it be through corporations using their social media platforms, has given users the ability to complain about their trip getting canceled, complain about the fact that there are no seats on Air France and that flight getting canceled really ruined their holiday vacation, or complain about the fact that their food at McDonald's was really cold today. All of which are completely acceptable forms of protest, and I encourage all of them. The problem starts when we start using words or where we start using our words or posts in a way that is hurtful, in a way that rallies people around concepts or ideas that can be very harmful to a large group of people, where we start using dog whistle politics, things that are underhanded that we don't really realize how the consequences of our words or actions can have big impact. And social media magnifies this to the 10th degree because everyone has it and everyone sees it and it's there forever. So we really need to be cautious and weigh our words and weigh the things that we do in the name of freedom of speech. To be clear, I must say this, I completely agree and understand that we as a society have become way too sensitive, and that cancel culture, the big bad evil of our generation, is a problem. But you know how you can avoid being a very hurt victim or an angry proponent of cancel culture? You can understand what it means to truly have freedom of speech. You can understand what it means that your words have consequences. You can understand that by reacting to things appropriately, we won't be just cancel culturing everything and anything that comes our way, but appropriately reacting to the things that deserve and merit our reactions. I completely understand that it can be intoxicating to believe that we have the ability to say and do whatever we want, whenever we want, wherever we want. But that is a misconception, and it's a big misconception. As Emma Tittle says in a piece that she wrote for Maclean's, The public forums that we use are actually private spaces regulated by private corporations who really care about their bottom lines and who will draw lines in the sand. As such, companies like Facebook or Twitter, social media platforms, even news agencies like the New York Times or the LA Times, people who are running these companies have to make a profit. Who gives them or who generates that profit? The consumer. And although you may be upset that your tweet was taken down, there are hundreds and thousands of more people who are upset by the thing that you said. And so these corporations have to weigh the costs and the negatives to what you did. If your tweet is taken down by a corporation in the name of hate speech or protecting their consumer, you can't blame them, because at the end of the day, it's all about what matters most in the world: love. No, I'm kidding. Money, obviously. And if these corporations can't make their bottom line because you decided that you wanted to wake up today and tweet about how much you hate X, Y, or Z, then I am sorry, but your freedom of speech doesn't give you the right to take away from the corporation's bottom line. Almost nothing in this world does, if we haven't realized that already. Now, I know that this whole speech so far has sounded like me fighting to take away your constitutional rights to freedom of speech. And if it did, then good, because it shows how serious this problem is. If me standing here and telling you how we should all just be more mindful of the way that we use our words, wherever that platform that we use our words may be it social media, be it at work, be it when we're interviewed for a news outlet, then clearly, the problem is persisting, the problem is deep-rooted, and we have to find solutions. And so, obviously, I would never dare complain without offering solutions to a problem. Here are a couple. First and foremost, be mindful. Think before you speak, tweet, post, share, even before you call someone on the phone mad that they forgot to pick you up this morning for work. Just take a second, count to 5, and think if what you're doing is productive. Think about how what you're saying affects the person next to you, the person next to them, and so on and so forth. If we just all took 5 extra seconds out of our days before we said something, we would all be living in a much more peaceful and better, calmer society. The second thing that I want to encourage everyone to understand is that it is amazing to be able to live in countries where freedom of speech is a constitutionally protected right. But that also gives us all the responsibility to understand that we live in society. In community, we are interdependent on one another. That means that everything that we do will and should have appropriate consequences or repercussions on everyone else living with us in this community, in this society, in this world. Understanding these very fundamental and basic concepts of interdependence and societal living will allow us to think of our neighbor, will allow us to think of how our words are affecting others, which goes back to my very first piece of advice. It all just takes a little bit more thought. And I know that in an age where everything is quick and easy and where access to things that don't require any thought at all are just a click away, it can be really challenging to force ourselves to not react, to not be angry, to not be hurtful. But all it takes is just a deep breath in. Trust me, I've done it. And we'll all save ourselves a lot more headache. Now, like I said in the beginning, my speech is pretty much over. And if you're still not convinced that you should think before you speak, and that by tweeting or posting things on social media that makes you look absolutely foolish, you're only embarrassing yourself, please, please, please go on Twitter and search up any of the celebrities that you've seen in the news this past week about how they are tweeting or saying things that are absolutely ridiculous. And you'll see that you would rather do anything than have your name in the headlines alongside them. Thank you. I really hope that you enjoyed my speech because it took me 6 years of preparation, hard work, and sleepless nights getting ready for it. Now, before I leave you, I have the great honor of announcing next year's William Saroyan Public Speaking Competition. Our school is lucky enough to have a very engaged and active alumni committee. Alumni committees are important because keeping old students engaged with this community is what generates new ideas. We recently had the opportunity to sit down with alumni committee member Tara Egoyan and ask her 5 questions.
Hi, my name is Tara Egoyan. I am the president of the Alumni Committee, and I am an alumni of the graduating class of 2008.
What is your role as a member of the Alumni Association?
So my role, as previously mentioned, is to be the president of the committee. But besides that, it's also to take the lead on meetings, organize stuff with the other members of our committee, and create networking opportunities for alumni and future alumni.
What aspect of the functionality of the school does the Alumni Association provide?
As mentioned in our bylaws, our association is a social committee where we create opportunities for alumni, so older students, to get together and participate in networking and social events. And I really wanted to highlight here that alumni does not mean necessarily graduates of Sec 5. It also includes Saturday school, Sunday school, or anyone who has attended Sourp Hagop at any given point.
Do you often face challenges during your time at the association, and how do you overcome such difficulties?
Yes, obviously, like anything else, we do have difficulties. We have a broad list of alumni that goes back several years, so it's very difficult for us to be able to reach all of the students and get all of their information. Of course, during our events, we have created opportunities where they could sign up and give us that information so we could reach the broader alumni. But besides that, like everyone else, we got impacted by COVID. That being said, we had to adjust, and our meetings went from in-person to virtual, and we continue to do it virtual because we found that it's more practical that way.
Clearly, you've joined the Alumni Association because Sourp Hagop has left an impact on your life. In what way has the school done so?
I know it's a bit cheesy to say, but Sourp Hagop has always been a second home for me. Obviously, the friendships that I made are lifelong. My best friends graduated from here or attended the school, and my husband also is an alumni. So it's impacted my life personally, but besides that, also professionally, it had given me the tools and necessary opportunities for me to grow on a professional level. So, yeah.
Do you recommend the current students of Sourp Hagop to join the association once they graduate? Why?
Of course I do. I mean, there's a reason why I am the president of the committee. I find that it's important to keep a foot in Sourp Hagop, and that's often a bit difficult when you're not a part of the parent body or part of being a student. I think it keeps us up to date with the changes and also creates ties and networking opportunities within the Armenian community and within our community that we've built or worked very hard to build.
Hi, I'm Rima Khashtafjan. I'm a second-year student at Marinopolis College in the Health Science program. I'm currently finishing my 3rd semester and will soon be applying to university. During my last year at Sourp Hagop, I was a contributor to the SHTV show. I remember all the fun times I had filming for episodes and coming up with creative and fun ideas. And SHT was definitely a very significant part of my last year at school. A lot of time has passed, and once in a while I always watch SHTV when I feel like a feeling of longing the old days of school, and I'm very proud with the way that the show is thriving and will continue to. They come up with very creative and fun ideas to entertain the audience, and it's always nice to see something that was such a big part of my days, my last days at school, to see that it still exists and it keeps getting better and better. SHTV definitely created a very dynamic environment, and I'm really glad that it continues to do so. So I'm very proud.
Sourp Hagop has had many talented students, both past and present. In this segment, we catch up with past graduate Johnny Garboyan as he gives us an update on his music career.
When I graduated from Sourp Hagop, it was crazy because before I graduated, I was the only musician I knew, which is crazy to me. I was the only person that I knew who knew how to play what I wanted to play. So it was, it was a bit crazy, but I used to, I remember when I was younger, 9th grade, 10th grade, whatever, I would perform, and I used to have a ton of fun doing that, especially for projects too, and for talent shows, stuff like that. And those were the big things for me back then. As soon as I graduated, I understood that I'm stepping into a world where things are just bigger and it's just real life. What we do matters. And we discovered that around us, when we stepped into CEGEP, we discovered that there are a number of other musicians just like us. People realized, okay, these guys are good, especially people in our school, and they started hiring us for events, and they started engaging us in school entertainment activity, and they started, promoting us everywhere. We understood that, okay, well, we know we can do this as a band. At least I understood that we can play together awesomely well. But what happens now when we don't have gigs or jobs? I took the time to sit down a bit and think about what I do and why I do them and whatever. And I said, well, why don't I just make an album? Why don't I just work on myself? And that's what I did. And I'm very, very happy that I got the opportunity to do so. I did think of giving up twice, but nevertheless, I made it to the end. And 3 months later, I had an album. I learned how to produce. I spent so much time in studio and, record. I learned how to audio engineer. I learned how to produce, how to master, how to mix, how to play my instruments well, how to think musically. I learned so much that made me a better person even. Ready? Go. And also I want to add, simultaneously to that, I was DJing, I was having fun, I was experimenting, I was learning how to enter this new world of entertainment that I'm in, because I just loved it. Sooner or later, I was having, like a lot of events. I was going to perform at a lot of events as a DJ. A lot of people were hiring me. If I knew before I graduated that it was this fast, it was gonna move this quickly, I would have braced myself. Oh my God, because when you leave Sourp Hagop, well, that's it. You're entering this world that's full of so much opportunity and so many possibilities. You don't know how you're gonna react. And I could never be where I am today if it wasn't for the experiences that I've had prior to my graduation. I mean, the experiences that I had in Sourp Hagop. I remember all the talent shows and the projects and the fun times I used to have at school. And that's what made me want to keep going. I didn't listen to anyone who said you won't make it. And sure enough, the third month on Spotify, my album had like 17,000 views or something. And I still don't believe it. I still think someone tampered with the numbers there, because honestly, it's unreal. It's unreal, and I'm very, very happy that I'm here. Thank you very much. I'm Johnny Garboyan, and this is Johnny G Music.
I'm Salin Sarkisian and I am back. On SHTV, I was a contributor as well as a social media manager. If anything was needed, I was always there to help and gladly helped. I am so proud of everything that SHTV is accomplishing and has accomplished. It has grown so much and I cannot wait to see it grow even more. I watch every single episode and I am so proud of it. Also, I'm in my last semester of college. I will be graduating soon and moving on to bigger and better goals. Can't wait. It is very exciting. And I will see you next time. Bye!
I'm standing in front of the wall of mosaics of all of our past graduates. It's now time for the next challenge in the Secondary 5 Final Showdown.
We took one student from each class and showed him grocery pictures from around the world. The student whose final guess is closest to the total price will win this week's challenge.
Hi, my name is Lori Jukadjian and I used to be a student here at Sourp Hagop and now I teach here. Welcome to the next challenge in the Secondary 5 Final Showdown. We asked the Secondary 5 students to contact as many alumni as possible to collect memories. The class that collects the most wins the challenge. Let's start with Sec 5A.
Hi, I'm Tamar Khashkhashan. I'm a graduate from Sourp Hagop for the year 2021-2022. I've been to Sourp Hagop since I was a little child, and all throughout these years I made so many memories that will stay with me forever. But I can say one of the most touching and heartfelt memories I made was the last week of my last year at Sourp Hagop. Why is that? Because the principal, all the teachers planned so many activities. We did so many original things that nobody had done before, like sleeping at the school. And basically we did little trips to Montreal and to watch the sunrise. It was really cool, stuff we haven't done ever. And yeah, those will always stay with me forever. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Sourp Hagop. I'm a Sourp Hagop graduate from 2021, and my favorite memory from high school was the filming of the short film Nuna and Armen in Secondary 5. It was honestly one of the most memorable moments ever in all of my high school, because it was just a time for all my classmates and I to have a good time and to create something that we hadn't dabbled with yet. And it was just a fun experience to be able to film this and publish it on YouTube.
Hello, my name is Hirak Bankan. I'm a 2020 graduate from Sourp Hagop, and my favorite memories from Sourp Hagop were in Mr. Meher's class because he truly made class very interesting. He made Armenian history very interesting to listen to, and we got to learn a lot about our culture. So those were definitely my favorite moments from Sourp Hagop.
Hi everyone, my name is Laura Donovit. I'm a 2019 graduate from Sourp Hagop. So when they asked me to tell a little bit about my favorite time at Sourp Hagop with a teacher, the first thing that came to my mind was definitely our last day at Sec 5s, where we were in Mr. Lu's class, and the whole class decided to come up over the chairs and the tables as well, and we yelled, "Oh Captain, my Captain," which was a reference to the Dead Poet Society. It was a moment of respect that we wanted to show Mr. Lu and Baron Meher. So thank you and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Rita Khashkhashian. I graduated in 2016, and the best memory that I have of Sourp Hagop were the water fight days of the hot days of summer.
Hey everyone, my name is Ali Bajabedian. I'm a Sourp Hagop alumni from 2013. My favorite memory from high school is when we used to order pizza and like chicken wings when the food wasn't that good. We used to kind of ditch school from the back of the schoolyard and order food and eat it amongst friends. That's one of the nicest memories I have.
Hello, my name is Gasia Boyajian and I'm an alumni of Sourp Hagop. I graduated in 2011 and here is one of my favorite memories of my time at Sourp Hagop. My friends and I would always get together and watch hours and hours and hours of the show Friends, which was set in New York City. And so in Sec 4, when we finally got to go to New York City as a whole class together, that was probably one of my favorite memories of my time at Sourp Hagop.
My name is Natalie Berkelian. I graduated Sourp Hagop in 2009, and my most memorable memory here was definitely when we were Sec 5. The last week of school, every day we were doing a bunch of fun stuff to just make it as memorable as possible. And we had the best shaving cream fight in history. So yeah.
What is my favorite memory at Sourp Hagop? I can't recall one specific memory, but when I think of Sourp Hagop, I think of community and all the fun times I've had with friends and classmates. The thing is, you don't know where life is going to take you after graduation, but you'll always have those fun and good memories.
Hi, my name is Mardi Katarian. I'm a graduate of 1990 from Sourp Hagop. I'd like to tell you a quick story about what used to take place in our English classes. Our English teacher wasn't too fond about one of my classmates because he was very messy. So whenever he came to class, he used to go and tape over his desk so that he could clean up. And my friend obviously wasn't too happy with the situation, so what he did one day is he switched the desks. He took the teacher's desk and he put it smack in the middle of the class. So imagine what happened when the teacher came in.
I'm impressed with what Secondary 5 got. Now let's see what Secondary 5B collected.
Hi
guys! We're from the graduating class of 2020.
So we're gonna tell you one of our favorite memories in Sourp Hagop, which was SHTV class.
We used to laugh all the time with all our friends, obviously do a lot of math, and annoy the teacher probably with our singing.
The teacher hated us, but you know what? Fine. We had a blast.
We love you, Madam Mahika.
Love you!
Hi, my name is Sivana Georgian and I graduated high school in 2019. My favorite memory of Sourp Hagop was the first day of secondary 5 when we went to visit the kindergarten students to give them a rose.
Hi everyone, my name is Aaron Malkonian, graduate from Sourp Hagop in 2017. I'm happy to share some of the best memories I've had at Sourp Hagop when I was younger. I've had many memories. We've been on many trips. I remember especially Quebec, Washington, and honestly, like, there's a lot of things that I miss. There are some, like, I do wish I could go back some days. Some of the memories that I'd like to share, I think, is probably during recess. If it wasn't spending time either studying or like doing other work, we would spend a lot of time playing chess with my friends. And especially in the common area, there was like the windows on the 3rd floor there. We would normally sit next to the window and we would play. And I remember one year we started we were playing for a few weeks, and there was a teacher that approached us and told us if we were interested on starting a club. And I remember we were either one of the first group or the first group who actually started, who brought a chess club to the school. It was a big interest and we loved going. We played against many different people. I don't know how long it lasted, but I'm so happy they brought it back, because honestly it's a good way to pass your time, and it's a good brain teaser as well. It's a good way to spend your time. But no, honestly, if I think back to my Sourp Hagop days, I was probably some of the memories that come to mind is me playing chess with my friends. So yeah, that's my take.
My favorite memory of my time at Sourp Hagop is the play that my classmates and I put on as our secondary 5 project in commemoration of the Armenian genocide. So the plays in the amphitheater are kind of a rite of passage when you become a secondary 5 student, and it's something we were all very much looking forward to that entire year, and especially the Armenian genocide project, which was very dear to us. And I remember we all worked on it as a group, all 48 of us, for months and months, and the preparation was so much fun because we were working together. And even though the subject matter was extremely difficult and something that was very emotional for all of us, the end result was something that we were all so proud of, because putting on a full-length play was something that had never been done before in the amphitheater. And then we were able to also present it to other members of our community, our parents, faculty, teachers, and not just our fellow students. So that was really a big achievement for all of us, and the fact that we all got to do it together is something that I cherish forever.
Hi, my name is Diana Siufi. I graduated from Sourp Hagop in 2015. One memory that is particularly special for me during my time at Sourp Hagop is our trip to Armenia. I remember I was super excited traveling halfway across the world with my classmates in order to visit my motherland. It was also one of the last times that I was able to visit Artsakh, which meant very much to me. And it was one of the most memorable trips that I've ever had, because it cemented some of the friendships that I have up until this day.
For me, my favorite memory was when we ordered pizza when we were in Sec 5 without any teacher knowing, and shared it amongst the entire group.
So my favorite memory when I was in secondary 5 here in Sourp Hagop is when we did a whole presentation for April 24, and we surprised the entire secondary, well, the whole secondary, with a video call from Showdown from Showdown.
A lot of good memories at Sourp Hagop. One of the best memories I have was our lunch breaks, when we used to have pizzas and sing all together in the hallways, the class, the cafeteria, or summertime, the war fights. And let's not forget the incredible school projects that we used to have. Not only educational, but it was also fun. So, and finally, prom day was amazing. A lot of good experiences at Sourp Hagop. A lot of success, and I wish you good luck.
So my favorite memory out of my years of high school at Sourp Hagop was when we were in Sec 5, and all of us decided that we wanted to do something fun for the day. and we had decided that we were going to do a Schulspar, and that's how we were all going to get ourselves to the cafeteria for lunch. But it wasn't just your typical Schulspar. We blasted music out of a speaker for like a good 10 to 15 minutes. We danced all the way down the hallway. We moved down to the second floor, the first floor, and then we made our way back up to the cafeteria. And then we danced around the cafeteria, and then we sat down to have our lunch. It started off as people scorning us and telling us to stop, and we're making too much noise. And then it wound up with people joining in our Schulspar and everybody actually having a really great time. So it was a good, fun memory. And I think I'll hold it forever.
So my favorite memories, I should say, from my time in Sourp Hagop was the end of year plays we used to put on. I participated in my Sec 3 year, Sec 4 year, and Sec 5 year. We did various plays, mostly Armenian plays, with the lead of with Madame Ano directing, Tina Knight, one of my favorite memories of all time.
Hi, my name is Sonia Papachian. I'm a 1995 alumni, and I have 2 kids who attend Sourp Hagop. I currently teach Armenian to the kindergarten classes at Sourp Hagop. I've been teaching here for the past 20 years. My favorite memory of Sourp Hagop was during our graduating year, where we held an end-of-year play. It was a very good memory because it was very fun, and it was one of the last times that I got to spend with all my high school friends with whom I went to school from daycare all the way to our graduating year, before we all went our separate ways.
Congratulations, Sec 5B, for your victory. Join us next week for another challenge.
Hi, my name is Tamar Khashkhashan. In secondary 4, I was the first host of SHTV. I'm really proud to say that SHTV is doing really good now, with weekly episodes and so much more content, making it so much more interesting. I'm currently at André Grasset in social science, studying in psychology. I can say that I really like it, but it's a different environment from what I'm used to, but I'm getting used to it, which makes me also miss Sourp Hagop a lot. Hence why I'm here today volunteering, helping out Ms. Lara and students with projects and giving presentations. Even though I miss Sourp Hagop a lot, I'm very happy where I'm at now.
Thank you for watching SHTV. We hope you enjoyed reminiscing with us. We challenge and encourage all alumni to come participate in future SHTV episodes. Now we leave you with another pertinent alumni contribution.